Welcome to the Website Success Show, the podcast dedicated to helping women in business make the most of the content they're already creating so they can get more traffic and sales through their website with less reliance on social media and paid ads. I'm Jules White, the founder of the Website Success Hub, and I love helping course creators, podcasters, and business owners make more money through their existing website. If you have a business you love but you don't love the way your website performs, then this is the show for you.
Hi, happy Friday. So I wanted to talk this morning about hero sections. This is the most important section on any web page. I know I have a habit of saying this is really important, this is really important, and also this is really important. And there are so many important parts of your web pages. So whether I'm talking about your website, your landing page, a sales page, whatever you want to call it, that page on the internet that you're sending people to, or hopefully they're finding without you having to actually send them there manually. It's really important that that first section, before they start scrolling, so whether you want to call it the hero section, you want to call it above the fold, above the scroll, whatever it is, it's basically that bit before they start moving down the page. And hopefully, the ideal scenario is they see that hero section and they fall so in love with what you say there that they just click straight away on that button. Realistically, that doesn't happen. We just want to capture people's attention there to let them know that what they landed on was the page that they were actually expecting, and hopefully just keep them scrolling down to that next section and then the next section and then the next section until they do take that action that you want them to take. So when you're thinking about your hero sections on each page, I would say, especially if you're first starting to do this and just first starting to think about how can I change my messaging, how can I make this better, how can I make it clearer, how can I improve my conversion rates or my conversion optimization, think about what else is missing from the page first, because sometimes you can get really stumped on the hero section, and especially on trying to craft a compelling headline for that hero section, and it can trip us up and we can end up spending hours, days thinking about something which you probably will come back and change it again. I can't tell you how many times I've changed my H1 heading on my homepage, and it's still evolving. I still not happy with it, still not 100% yeah, that sounds great. And I know it will keep changing. And this is where we can just keep trying and testing things and seeing what happens. But I would say think about the other sections on your page first. So make sure that you've got the trust, you've got your authority, you've got the important information throughout the page. Make sure you've got something in the hero section, but don't spend hours and days and things without then doing anything on the rest of the page. Sometimes it's easier, especially if you're talking about a sales page or something like that, sometimes it's easier to think about the features before you start thinking about the benefits. But that from a customer point of view and from a visitor point of view, the benefits are the most important part. But it's not always easy. Sometimes you can sort of start making a list of, okay, this is what's included with this product, and that's like a fact-based thing, so it makes it easier for you then to compartmentalize that in your brain, or to actually just start that process of doing it. So start with the easier sections first on a page. If I'm doing a power hour and we're just focusing on one particular page, then we won't necessarily start with that the top of the page. We'll look at what are the easier things first that we can do. And sometimes it's as easy as actually thinking about, okay, what do I need in my footer? What do I need in my navigation menu? If it's not a sales page and you have got a navigation menu, thinking about whether that's clear. But I've gone off on a bit of a tangent because I'm talking about hero sections today. So even if you think, okay, right, I'm going to dive straight in with my hero section, I'm going to start thinking about that, or I've done the rest of the page and I'm ready to now tackle my hero section. And I don't want to say tackle because actually that does make it sound like it's harder than it needs to be. We've got AI to help us. We can ask our customers, ask people what they think of it and whether it's clear. So the most important thing when we come into that hero section is that people understand what we do, how it's going to make their life better, and what they need to do to get that. So the what we do, that can be part of either literally naming what we do, or naming how we help people, naming what problems they're dealing with, and how what we do is going to help them with that, basically. So we want to try and have features in this hero section. We want to try and have a headline that's going to grab their attention and be something around either, as I say, what problems they're suffering with or they're experiencing, and how we can help them with that. Ideally, if we can have benefits. If we can have 3 benefits within that hero section, very clear and compelling, and so just so anybody could look at it. So my 80-year-old mum, my 8-year-old nephew could look at it and have an idea about what you do. And obviously, if you are in an industry where it is very techy and you're kind of almost trying to exclude people who aren't right for you, then again, making sure that is the right sort of messaging there, really. For most of us, we're not in that, certainly most of us here, we're not in those techie industries where we actually are trying to exclude people who aren't ready to work with us at this point. We want it to be clear, and for the majority, people could look at it and understand what we do. So when you're thinking about that as well, think about the page they're coming into, and realistically where people would be coming into that page from. So we don't always know this. People come into our world and they swirl around our website and all the different things that we do and social media and everything, and we don't always know where they do actually come into. And it can be different people in different stages of within their buyer journey with us, but we have an idea of realistically where we're expecting people to come into this page and what job that page is doing. So how is that page helping people? How is that page answering the question that if we're thinking about it from an SEO point of view, how is that page answering the question that people are typing into Google or any other search engine? So when you're thinking about that and thinking about the headline and what you've got in that hero section, think about also, does that immediately let people know that they're in the right place? They're finding what they were actually searching for. And it can be if you're sending them there from a Facebook ad or from a social media post or somebody that you're having a conversation with at networking, or in an email as well. Make sure that page does make sense for what people for why you're sending them there, really. So that's really important. Definitely make sure that that's aligning with what they were actually searching for. And is it clear? So is it immediately clear that that is going to solve that problem for them, or is going to somebody's here waiting to nick my parking space and I'm not going. So is it immediately clear? So have you also checked that it's responsive on mobile and tablet? So making sure that it looks good on every device. So you can look in your analytics and see where most of your customers are coming from. You should be able to see whether most of your customers are on desktop or mobile. And if they, regardless of which one they're on, we want to make sure that it looks good on mobile, because realistically the majority of people are visiting websites on their mobile now, but just making sure that it does do the same job on every device you're on. And quite often on the hero section, this is something that does get a little bit tripped up. So it might look great on mobile but not so good on desktop. The most important part and the most common problem that I see is where the text is obscured by the image behind it. So you might have a fantastic hero section banner or an image behind you, what you do, but then when you look at it on a different device, that's actually, you can't read the text properly, or it's, you might think, oh yeah, I kind of can read it, but if it's not really clear, you want to try and avoid busy images behind your text, unless you're going to use something like an opaque box. But even with that, ideally, the writing needs to be the thing that stands out on that page, and that's the thing that you want to really make sure that that's working on all devices as well. And then within that section, making sure that you've got across the trust. So ideally, if you can use something like, if you've got any reviews, or you could have a little banner saying rated 5-star on Trustpilot, or even better, rated 5-star by 150 happy customers or something like that. And even if you haven't got something like Trustpilot or your Google Business Profile set up, you could still put that there as just some text if you've had lots of reviews. Or you could even, if you've got a really good review that really ties in with what people are looking for, that solution on this page, and you've got a really good review around that where you can take out 3 or 4 words from that review and literally just put that there within that section with a little star next to it, so people immediately know what you're talking about. That can be really helpful, especially if it's high on the page and people can see it when they're actually about to click on that button to take the action that you want them to take. That's really important. So having something like that there, you can also have the trust if you have something like free delivery or money back guarantee or anything like that. If you can get that into that section above the fold as well, then, and it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be, literally across your banner at the top of the page, or a small snippet that says, money back guarantee or something along those lines, especially if you are an e-commerce business or a product-based business where there's going to be more information in that above the fold section, really. Having your authority there as well, so making sure that that comes across. And again, that can be something which you can do by just having a small snippet of a review or something there that basically lets people know why they should trust you. And it might be that you weave that into your H1 heading, your hero heading on that page, and then just making sure that is going to grab their attention. So is it clear within that section? If my 80-year-old mum went and looked at that page, would she immediately know what you do and how you help people? I think that's probably the biggest thing. It's just we can often try and be clever or try and be different, and actually just being clear is probably the biggest thing that's going to help with your conversions, really. So I hope that's helpful about hero sections. So whichever page it is you're bringing people into, think about, does it immediately connect with what they were searching for, and how are you actually capturing their attention, letting them know what you do, how you're going to make their life better, and what they need to do to get it. If you feel like you need some help with this, then let me know. I can help you in a power hour. Send me a DM and we'll have a little chat about what you need. But I love helping people with this. This is one of the hardest places on your website to try and get this across, and it always will be a work in progress. But yeah, if you need some help, let me know.